If I would have told you 2 years ago that Dennis Schröder, a guy who was in the running for Sixth Man of the Year, didn't want it, Montrezl Harrell won it that year, but he was second place, who averaged 18 points per game, looked so good on that Thunder squad. From being a starting point guard in Los Angeles, where he got the chance, even though it was a COVID year, he still got the chance. Who had an offer of 84 million over 4 years, declined it, tried to prove himself. Yeah. And now, 3 weeks into free agency, he still hasn't signed. And he will probably never get that payday again that the Lakers had offered him, even though he said that he never got that offer. And man, I just gotta say, I love Dennis Schröder. He's one of my favorite players. Just the skill that he has attacking the basket, and he's a playmaker. But man, turning down that deal, and now he's probably gonna sign a minimum, like a 1 million deal, or maybe he gets like a mid-level exception, but I don't know which team could give him that at this point, because the Lakers will probably not give him that. Lakers, Kendrick Nunn. Who else? Phoenix maybe, but they have Cameron Payne, even though he kind of struggled last year. And then, I mean, he could sign to the Warriors or like the Bucks for like a minimum. I don't know how much cap space Bucks have, but I personally would like to fit on the Bucks. They need another backup point guard. I mean, they got George Hill, but I don't know how much trust I could put in George Hill. I would rather have Dennis Schröder than George Hill. And then the Warriors, but the Warriors are set. I don't see him getting 15 to 20 minutes on the Warriors, if I'm gonna be honest. They got Dante, they got Moses, they got Kuminga, who they're trying to develop. And then it gets rough. The Bulls have Dragic. The Bulls have Ayo. And now they just Dalen Terry, who is kind of like a guard and a wing at the same time. It's just crazy to see how one bad decision can destroy your career at this point. For him, I just hope he can have a bounce back year next year. I don't know which team it is. But man, it's sad to see a guy like him who can play. Like, let's be honest, Dennis Schröder can play. Like, I don't get why some people try to mark him as like one of the worst players that ever played basketball at some point. Like, yeah, he made one bad decision and he fumbled the bag, but he's still a good player, a good, decent player that can put on some good minutes from the bench. And I think if he goes back to the bench and not be a starting point guard, I think Bro can be averaging 15 points per game. I think he can be a solid rotational player in this league. He showed that when he was in OKC. He showed that when he was in Atlanta. But man, I just gotta say, I hope he's getting on a team, balling out, and then maybe next season gonna pay it, because the only thing that I can see is him signing a 1-year deal with maybe a contender, maybe the Mavs. I could see him on the Mavs. That would be funny. But yeah, man, it's sad. At the end of the day, it's just sad. But yeah, hopefully he plays good and he can kind of redeem himself. That's what I would want from him, just to redeem himself. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me and the channel. I appreciate every single person that likes, comments, or subscribes. At the end of the day, I just love talking about basketball. And yeah, have a good day. See you next time. And